Which one doesn't belong? Breaking promises, breaking dishes, or breaking patterns? To help you answer that question, please help me welcome our ATM bronze David Goldwich.
Following patterns helps us survive, but breaking patterns lets us thrive. Think back to when you were in kindergarten. Your teacher may have given you a worksheet with a number of rows of different objects, 4 objects in each row. For example, elephant, zebra, giraffe, bicycle. Which one does not belong? Apple, orange, banana, fish. Which one does not belong? They're teaching you to recognize patterns because recognizing patterns has survival value for us as a species. Imagine your prehistoric ancestors living in the wilderness. One morning, a member of the tribe, Og, sees a juicy red berry on the forest floor. He picks it up, eats it, and by morning, he's dead. A few days later, another member of the tribe, Grog, sees a similar red berry on the ground. He picks it up, eats it, and dies. A few days later, a third member of the tribe, Herman, sees a red berry on the ground. He picks it up, considers it, and says, Og eat berry, him die. Grog eat berry, him die. Herman no eat berry. He throws it away and lives to tell the tale. So recognizing patterns clearly does have survival value. It's a useful skill. Let's go back to your kindergarten classroom. After you complete that assignment of which one does not belong, your teacher might give you another worksheet, just an outline of a drawing, and you're supposed to fill it in with your crayons. You do the sky blue, the grass is green, and don't get them mixed up. And whatever you do, make sure you stay within the lines, because nobody wants a sloppy drawing. In fact, for most of our history as art-producing beings, we've understood that when you look at something, you can only see it from one perspective at a time. So you can do a portrait that's full face on, or you can do a profile, but you can't have both at the same time. Until Picasso and the Cubists came along and said, oh yes, you can. And when people looked at the beautiful woman that Picasso drew, they said, what kind of garbage is this? She's got 3 eyes. She's got 2 noses. And good God, what is that other thing? I think if Picasso had stayed within the lines, we might not even know his name today. It's easy to understand the value of breaking patterns in the creative fields. But what about something more serious, like the everyday world of business? Muhammad Yunus was a Bangladeshi economist. He recognized a pattern in the banking industry. The pattern in banking looks like this. A banker will meet a middle-aged businessman who already has a lot of money and doesn't need more money, and give him more money so he can do what other middle-aged businessmen are already doing. Expand their business, purchase inventory, maybe buy a red Corvette. Yunus turned the banking model upside down. Instead of lending to businessmen, he lends money mostly to women. Instead of operating in the big cities like most banks, his bank operated in the remote villages. And instead of giving large loans, he would lend very small sums. In fact, the first loan that Yunus ever made was $27. That's not $27 for one woman. That was $27 for a group of 42 women. Average loan, 64 cents. Who gives a 64-cent loan? It's not even worth the paperwork. You send a couple statements in the mail, and the postage is more than the value of the loan. But these women made bamboo stools for a living. And to buy the bamboo strips and other materials that they needed, they had to borrow from the furniture sellers, and the terms were very onerous. They were always in debt. No matter how hard they worked, they just couldn't get ahead. That 64-cent loan allowed them to purchase the materials on more favorable terms, thereby enabling them to provide for their families. For their pioneering work in the field of microfinance, Muhammad Yunus and his bank, Grameen Bank, were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't see Goldman Sachs or J.P. Morgan winning the Nobel Prize. So even in the field of business, breaking patterns lets us thrive. They told the young Fred Smith, nobody's going to pay a lot of money just to deliver a letter overnight when the post office can do it so cheaply in only 2 or 3 days. And yet, FedEx is absolutely, positively still in business today. They told Jeff Bezos, you can't sell books online. And yet, Amazon continues to sell books and everything else under the sun online. In every area of your life, whether it's business, creativity, social, decision-making, following patterns helps us survive, but breaking patterns lets us thrive. Thank you.